Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. My wife Devon became pregnant while my best friend Jeff was staying with us. The catch is that I secretly had a vasectomy years ago. I went along with it until I gathered evidence of their affair. I recently discovered that Devon was having an affair with Jeff. I found this out because she's pregnant. You might ask yourself, but if she's pregnant, how do you know? Well, I had a vasectomy in my previous marriage, so I know my wife has been cheating on me because there's no way she could get pregnant from me. Some of you might be thinking, you can still get pregnant with a vasectomy. Don't come at me with that. There's less than a 1 chance that I got her pregnant, and we've taken tests. Some context. My best friend Jeff recently went through a divorce earlier this year. I grew up with this guy since grade school. I mean, we're basically brothers. We were both the best men at each other's weddings, went to college together, and joined the police force at the same place. You get it? I first got married when I was 20. My ex-wife Trish and I were high school sweethearts. I was the small-town hockey star who everyone knew was going somewhere. She was this smart, cute, funny pastor's daughter who everyone loved. We had our daughter when we were 21 and our son when we were 24. We had a miscarriage in between. After my son, we decided we didn't want any more children, so I got a vasectomy. Without telling anyone, since I didn't feel it necessary to announce it to the world, I went in for a simple lunch surgery, went back to work, and no one was the wiser. My ex-wife and I ended up drifting apart, but we separated amicably. It's not that we didn't love each other, we did, but the love just changed. She started a home organization business, which became very successful, and wanted to grow her brand. I was still passionate about my work. We fully supported each other's lives and still see each other constantly. We even share holidays together. Devon and Trish were on good terms and even did things together without me. Devon and Jeff were also close. When Jeff got divorced from his wife Amy, it hit our friend group hard. We tried to support him as best as we could. However, Amy was taking the kids to Ontario to be with her parents, which devastated Jeff. He tried to keep his kids here, but she moved and took them with her. During this tough time, Jeff leaned on us, and because he had to sell his house, we let him stay with us until he got back on his feet. What was meant to be a short stay turned into a longer one than we anticipated. Devon suggested renovating the garage into a suite for Jeff, which he was gracious about and helped with. It was a bit of an annoyance, but I wanted to help. At least he was in his own space, so Devon and I could have proper alone time. Devon worked as a dispatch agent for a while before becoming a hairstylist, which she loves. Devon and I met a few months after my divorce from Trish was finalized. We hit it off well. She's actually 8 years older than I am. She said she didn't want kids, and we had a lot in common, including interests and hobbies. Since the topic of kids never came up, I never mentioned my vasectomy. Yes, I know I'm a horrible person for not disclosing it, but the topic just didn't arise. Devon was the best stepmom to my kids, and we had a small, intimate backyard wedding with a barbecue that was perfect for us. Shortly after our marriage, Jeff went through his divorce and stayed with us. We worked together but weren't on the same team, so our shifts differed. Devon and Jeff often had time alone at home. At first I thought Devon was just being helpful and a good friend, but things started to get weird. I would text her during the day and she'd say she and Jeff were out for lunch or running errands. They went to movies and concerts together. At home, I noticed little things like Jeff touching her arm or her touching his bicep. She would bring up Jeff constantly, and I saw gifts from him, including bath stuff with massage oil. One night, while Devon and I were in bed, she told me she wanted a baby. We had agreed not to have more children, but she now said she wanted a baby before we were too old. I didn't have the heart to tell her I had a vasectomy, which made it virtually impossible for me to give her a child. I played along, but it was odd since she had never shown interest in having a baby before. The next day I pretended to be on board with having a baby. Devon was thrilled and showed me a positive pregnancy test about a week later. I was stunned because I knew it couldn't be mine. I watched Devon and Jeff closely and caught Jeff touching her belly. When Devon mentioned she was going to her doctor for her first exam, I insisted on coming, claiming I wanted to be there as the father. At the appointment, the doctor confirmed Devon was 12 weeks pregnant. I pretended to be ecstatic, but I knew something was off. Afterward, I packed Devon and Jeff's belongings into a trailer and changed the locks, leaving Devon locked out. When she arrived, she was in disbelief and tried to explain, but I knew it was over. Jeff showed up in his patrol car, insisting the baby couldn't be his. I told him I would believe it when I saw a paternity test. Devon ended up getting a paternity test, which confirmed the baby was Jeff's. Jeff, knowing all along, thought he could live in the garage suite and be Uncle Jeff from afar. A friend of mine helped get Jeff transferred to a remote town, and Devon followed him. Trish and I talk every day. She checks in on me, and I'm spending time with my kids, trying to be the best dad I can be. Life has been quite a whirlwind since then. After Devon and Jeff moved away, I took some time to focus on myself and my family. I decided to spend more time with my kids, who were now my main priority. Despite everything that had happened, I wanted to be a strong and supportive presence in their lives. Trish and I continued to maintain our amicable relationship. Our daily conversations were a source of comfort, and she was always there to lend an ear or offer advice. The support from Trish was invaluable during this period of adjustment. Although our marriage had ended, the respect and care we had for each other remained intact. The transition of moving on wasn't easy. I had to deal with the emotional aftermath of the betrayal while also trying to rebuild a sense of normalcy for my children. I invested more time into my work, focusing on projects and training opportunities that allowed me to stay engaged and productive. It was a good distraction and helped me find a sense of purpose. In the midst of it all, I also started to reconnect with old friends and family. Rebuilding these relationships brought a sense of renewal and reminded me of the importance of having a support network. I realized that while the situation with Devon and Jeff had been painful, it had also highlighted the strength of my other relationships. As for Devon and Jeff, I've heard through mutual contacts that they settled into their new life in the remote town. I hope they found what they were looking for. For me, the focus has shifted to moving forward. I'm committed to being the best father I can be and embracing the opportunities that lie ahead. My journey has taught me a lot about resilience and the importance of facing difficult truths head on. The road to healing is ongoing, but with the support of my loved ones and a renewed sense of purpose, I'm finding my way through. As the months went by, I began to see the silver lining in the situation. I started focusing more on personal growth and self-care. I began exploring new hobbies and interests that had taken a back seat during the chaos of the past year. I picked up photography, something I'd always wanted to try, and found it to be a great way to channel my emotions and discover a new creative outlet. I also became more involved in my children's activities. I attended their school events, helped with their homework, and made sure to spend quality time with them. Seeing their smiles and hearing their laughter became a source of healing for me. It was a reminder of what truly matters and why I needed to stay strong and positive. I sought counseling to work through my feelings and gain perspective on the whole ordeal. It was a difficult step. The therapy sessions provided me with valuable tools for managing stress and improving my mental health. In parallel, I continued to build stronger connections with friends and family. I reached out to old acquaintances and made an effort to nurture the relationships that had always been meaningful to me. This network of support proved invaluable as I navigated through the ups and downs of recovery. Despite the pain and heartbreak, I started to find a sense of closure. I realized that while I couldn't change the past, I had the power to shape my future. I began to look at my life with a renewed sense of hope and possibility. I focused on my career, embraced new opportunities, and set personal goals that excited me. I also took time to reflect on what I wanted in future relationships. I knew that I needed to be honest with myself and potential partners about my past experiences and current expectations. I wanted to build a foundation based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Devon and Jeff's departure allowed me to rediscover my independence and strength. While their actions had left scars, they also served as a catalyst for personal growth. I became more self-reliant and resilient, and I learned to appreciate the simple joys of life. As for my children, they continued to thrive. We created new traditions and memories together, and I made sure they felt loved and secure. Their happiness and well-being were my top priorities, and I was committed to being the best father I could be. Looking back, I understand that the journey was painful and challenging, but it also taught me valuable lessons about love, trust, and resilience. I'm grateful for the support I received from those who stood by me, and I'm optimistic about the future. Life is an ongoing journey, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next with an open heart and a renewed sense of purpose. As time went on, I came to accept that while the past could not be changed, it had led me to a place of personal growth and renewed clarity. The hurt and betrayal from Devon and Jeff had been a profound challenge, but they had also opened my eyes to the strength and resilience I didn't know I had. With each passing day, I found solace in the life I was rebuilding. My relationship with my children grew stronger, and their laughter and love became a source of immense joy. I continued to pursue my interests and passions, finding new purpose and fulfillment in activities I had once set aside. Although the scars of the past remained, they became part of my story, a story of overcoming adversity and finding hope. I learned to trust again, not just in others, but in myself. The journey wasn't easy, but it was mine, and I embraced it fully. In the end, I realized that while some chapters of our lives are filled with pain and loss, they are also followed by chapters of healing and growth. I moved forward with a heart that, while scarred, was also stronger and more open. I was ready to face the future with a renewed sense of hope and an unwavering commitment to the people and passions that mattered most. The past was a part of me, but it didn't define me. I chose to write the next chapters of my life with intention and courage. And as I looked ahead, I felt a quiet optimism for the new beginnings that awaited. With the support of my loved ones and a newfound inner strength, I was ready to embrace whatever came next. Life, with all its twists and turns, was a journey worth taking, and I was eager to see where it would lead. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.